The moment twins arrive, life changes in ways no parenting book can fully explain. Suddenly, every routine becomes double, every sleepless night feels endless, and every decision carries twice the pressure. Many parents enter this journey believing they must be perfect from the very beginning, only to discover that exhaustion, confusion, and emotional overload can quickly take over their lives. The truth is that most parents of twins unknowingly make the same critical mistakes during the first months, mistakes that increase stress, create unnecessary tension, and make daily life far harder than it needs to be. But here's the good news. Every one of these mistakes can be avoided with the right mindset and practical strategies. In this video, you will discover the 10 biggest mistakes parents of twins make in the beginning and how simple changes can completely transform the experience of raising twins. Becoming parents of twins is both a beautiful blessing and one of the greatest challenges a family can face. The emotional intensity, physical exhaustion, and constant demand for attention can make even the strongest parents feel overwhelmed. Many mothers and fathers begin this journey believing they need to handle everything alone, follow impossible standards, or keep perfect control over every detail. Unfortunately, these expectations often create stress, guilt, and burnout during a period that should also be filled with connection and unforgettable moments. In today's video, we are going to explore the 10 biggest mistakes parents of twins commonly make in the beginning and, more importantly, the practical ways to avoid them. If you are expecting twins, raising newborn twins, or supporting someone who is, this video could make a huge difference. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay until the end because some of these solutions may completely change the way you experience parenthood. The first major mistake parents of twins often make is believing they must do everything by themselves. Many new parents feel pressure to prove they are capable, independent, and strong enough to manage every responsibility without help. At first, this mindset may seem admirable, but very quickly it becomes emotionally and physically destructive. Raising one newborn already demands enormous energy, but raising 2 infants simultaneously creates a level of exhaustion that can overwhelm even highly organized parents. Sleep deprivation accumulates rapidly, stress increases daily, and simple household tasks begin to feel impossible. Parents who refuse help often become isolated, frustrated, and emotionally drained within weeks. The healthiest approach is understanding that accepting support is not weakness but wisdom. Family members, trusted friends, neighbors, and professional helpers can reduce pressure dramatically when allowed to participate. Even small forms of assistance, such as preparing meals, helping with laundry, or watching the babies for a short period, can restore emotional balance. Parents who build support systems early usually adapt faster, maintain healthier relationships, and enjoy more meaningful moments with their twins instead of constantly surviving in exhaustion and emotional overload every single day. Another common mistake is trying to keep both babies on completely separate schedules. Many parents respond individually to every cry, feeding cue, or sleeping pattern without realizing they are unintentionally creating chaos inside the home. When one baby sleeps while the other eats, and then the second baby wakes while the first finally rests, parents can become trapped in an endless cycle without breaks. Over time, this constant imbalance destroys opportunities for recovery and increases physical exhaustion dramatically. Establishing synchronized routines as early as possible can completely transform the household dynamic. Feeding twins together, encouraging similar nap times, and creating predictable routines help parents regain control over daily life. Perfect synchronization may not always happen, especially during growth spurts or developmental changes, but even partial alignment creates enormous relief. Structured routines also help babies feel more secure because they begin recognizing predictable patterns. Flexibility remains important, but complete disorder often increases stress for everyone involved. Parents who work toward coordinated schedules usually experience more rest, better emotional stability, and greater confidence handling daily challenges while creating a calmer environment that benefits both babies and the entire family. One of the most emotionally damaging mistakes parents of twins make is constantly comparing their children to one another. Even identical twins develop differently in areas such as sleeping habits, emotional sensitivity, communication, physical growth, and personality traits. However, many parents unintentionally create anxiety by measuring one twin against the other every day. When one baby reaches milestones earlier, sleeps longer, or appears calmer, parents may begin worrying that something is wrong with the other child. These comparisons create unnecessary fear and can even influence the emotional atmosphere within the family. Every child develops according to their own biological rhythm, and slight differences are entirely normal. Instead of focusing on comparison, parents should celebrate individuality from the beginning. Recognizing each twin as a unique person encourages healthier emotional development and reduces pressure inside the home. Simple habits like spending one-on-one time with each baby, observing their individual preferences, and avoiding labels such as the difficult one or the calm one can make a powerful difference. Twins may share birthdays and genetics, but they still deserve to be seen, respected, and loved as separate human beings with distinct identities and emotional needs. Many parents of twins also make the mistake of ignoring their own mental and physical health during the first months. The intense focus on caring for two babies often causes parents to neglect sleep, nutrition, emotional recovery, and personal well-being. Over time, constant exhaustion begins affecting patience, emotional regulation, decision-making, and even relationships inside the household. Parents may believe sacrificing themselves completely is part of being good mothers or fathers, but chronic burnout benefits nobody. In fact, emotionally depleted parents struggle to provide the calm and stability their babies truly need. Self-care during parenthood does not mean luxury or selfishness. It means protecting basic emotional and physical functioning. Short moments of rest, healthy meals, hydration, emotional conversations, and asking for temporary relief are essential survival tools, not optional rewards. Parents who care for themselves are more capable of handling stress, maintaining emotional balance, and enjoying the parenting experience instead of merely enduring it. Even 10 minutes of quiet breathing, a short walk outside, or uninterrupted sleep for a few hours can significantly improve emotional resilience. Healthy parents create healthier homes, and recognizing this truth early can prevent emotional collapse during one of life's most demanding transitions. Another huge mistake is purchasing excessive amounts of unnecessary baby products out of fear and insecurity. The market surrounding parenting often convinces new parents they need countless gadgets, devices, toys, and expensive equipment to properly care for twins. Fear-driven shopping becomes especially intense for parents expecting babies because they assume every item must be doubled. Very quickly, homes become overcrowded with products that are rarely used while financial stress continues growing. In reality, twins need far less than many families imagine. What matters most is safety, consistency, emotional connection, and practical organization. Parents who focus on essentials usually experience less stress and more freedom inside their homes. Before buying large quantities of products, it helps to research carefully, speak with experienced parents of twins, and wait to discover what truly works for their specific family dynamic. Babies grow rapidly, preferences change constantly, and many expensive items become useless within weeks. Minimalism during the early months can simplify daily routines and reduce financial anxiety significantly. Instead of chasing perfect parenting through material purchases, families benefit far more from creating peaceful environments filled with emotional warmth, patience, and realistic expectations about what babies genuinely require to thrive and develop securely. One mistake that silently damages many families is neglecting the relationship between the parents themselves. When twins arrive, nearly all attention shifts toward feeding schedules, diaper changes, medical appointments, and survival routines. Conversations become transactional, affection decreases, and emotional connection between partners slowly weakens. Exhaustion often causes misunderstandings, irritability, and resentment to grow without being properly addressed. Many couples mistakenly assume relationship difficulties are temporary and should simply be ignored until life becomes easier. Unfortunately, emotional distance can deepen rapidly if communication disappears completely. Protecting the relationship does not require grand romantic gestures during this stage. Small moments of teamwork, appreciation, and emotional support can preserve intimacy even during chaotic periods. Saying thank you, acknowledging effort, offering encouragement, and listening without criticism can strengthen the partnership significantly. Parents who operate as a united team usually navigate twin parenting with greater emotional stability and resilience. Children also benefit from growing inside emotionally secure households where cooperation and empathy exists between caregivers. The early months with twins are undeniably demanding, but couples who intentionally nurture their connection often emerge stronger, more mature, and more emotionally bonded after overcoming the intense challenges of this life-changing experience together. Another serious mistake parents of twins make is constantly listening to every opinion surrounding them while ignoring their own instincts. Friends, relatives, strangers, and online communities frequently offer endless advice about feeding methods, sleep routines, discipline, development, and parenting strategies. Although some advice can be helpful, excessive outside influence often creates confusion and insecurity. Parents begin doubting themselves every time their babies cry, sleep differently, or behave outside someone else's expectations. The truth is that every set of twins is unique, and no universal formula exists for raising them perfectly. Parents who constantly chase external approval usually become emotionally overwhelmed and uncertain about every decision. Learning to trust personal observation and intuition is incredibly important during this stage. No one spends more time understanding the baby's personalities, emotional responses, and daily rhythms than the parents themselves. Professional medical guidance should always be respected when necessary, but random opinions should not dominate the household. Confidence develops gradually through experience, not perfection. Parents who trust themselves become calmer decision-makers, and their emotional stability directly influences the atmosphere inside the home. Twins thrive best in environments where caregivers feel emotionally grounded instead of constantly anxious about meeting unrealistic expectations created by others around them. A surprisingly common mistake is treating twins as a permanent unit instead of encouraging individual experiences from the beginning. While twins naturally share many aspects of life, constantly doing everything together can unintentionally limit personal identity development. Some parents dress them identically every day, respond to them collectively, or avoid spending individual time with each child because managing twins already feels overwhelming. However, recognizing individuality early creates important emotional benefits later in childhood. Even during infancy, babies begin expressing unique preferences, temperaments, and emotional needs. Parents who notice and encourage these differences help build confidence and emotional security in each child. Small actions matter greatly, such as using their names individually, creating separate bonding moments, and observing how each twin responds differently to situations. Individual attention does not need to be perfectly equal every minute, but both children should feel seen as separate people rather than interchangeable halves of a pair. Encouraging individuality also reduces unhealthy competition and comparison as the children grow older. Twins share a remarkable connection that often lasts a lifetime, but healthy development becomes stronger when parents support both the bond they share and the unique identities each child gradually develops through love, attention, and independent emotional recognition. Many parents also make the mistake of setting unrealistic expectations about productivity and household perfection after twins arrive. Social media, parenting culture, and personal pride often create the illusion that successful parents should maintain organized homes, complete endless tasks, cook perfectly, and remain emotionally balanced despite extreme exhaustion. These expectations quickly become destructive because the reality of raising twins rarely matches idealized images. Laundry accumulates, routines fail unexpectedly, emotional breakdowns happen, and survival sometimes becomes the greatest accomplishment of the day. Parents who constantly criticize themselves for not achieving perfection often experience guilt, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion far beyond what is necessary. Learning to lower expectations during the early months is not failure but adaptation. Prioritizing essentials such as feeding, safety, emotional connection, and rest creates healthier households than obsessing over spotless kitchens or unrealistic productivity goals. Some days will feel chaotic regardless of preparation. and that is entirely normal. Parents who accept imperfection with flexibility usually recover emotionally faster and experience less stress overall. The first stage of raising twins is about adjustment, resilience, and learning through experience, not proving impossible standards. Compassion toward oneself becomes one of the most powerful survival skills during the demanding but deeply meaningful journey of twin parenthood. The final major mistake many parents of twins make is forgetting to enjoy the experience because they become trapped in constant survival mode. The sleepless nights, endless responsibilities, and overwhelming fatigue can make each day feel like a marathon without rest. Parents often become so focused on getting through the next feeding, the next diaper change, or the next exhausting night that they unintentionally miss the emotional beauty hidden inside ordinary moments. The early stages of twin parenthood are undeniably difficult, but they are also temporary. Babies grow faster than most parents expect, and many exhausting moments eventually become distant memories. Slowing down occasionally to appreciate small details can transform the emotional experience completely. The way twins calm down when hearing familiar voices, the synchronized smiles, the tiny hands reaching for comfort, and the growing bond between siblings are extraordinary experiences that deserve attention. Parents who intentionally pause to recognize these moments often feel more emotionally connected and grateful despite the challenges surrounding them. Raising twins will never be easy, but it can become deeply meaningful when families stop measuring success through perfection and begin recognizing the incredible privilege of guiding two unique lives through their earliest and most vulnerable stage of development. Parents of twins often begin their journey believing they must immediately master everything, but the reality is that raising twins is a process of learning, adapting, and growing every single day. Mistakes will happen, exhausting moments will appear, and some days will feel far more difficult than expected. But none of that means failure. The most important thing parents can offer their twins is not perfection, but love, patience, emotional presence, and the willingness to keep moving forward even during overwhelming seasons of life. Every challenge teaches resilience, every difficult night eventually passes, and every small victory becomes part of a much larger story. Twins do not need flawless parents. They need caring parents who continue showing up with compassion and determination. And one day, when the chaos begins to settle, many parents realize that these exhausting early moments became some of the most meaningful memories of their entire lives.